Hello, me peoples who watch me. Don't look at me, girl. I see you looking at me. Don't stare at me like that. I don't know what to say. And this girl affecting me. She tried to get rid of her boyfriend. So yeah, I just want to watch this. I don't know what to do. I'm bored. Shut up, man. No one cares about you. I'm just kidding.
I don't know why I'm telling this story. Maybe just to say how miserable I feel now.
Dang.
My name's Arthur, and I'm 16 years old.
That big bottom
My
lip.
story's about a girl I love who doesn't remember anything that happened between us. And I can do absolutely nothing about it. Just listen to my story.
She faked it.
About a year ago, a new student from Hong Kong arrived at our school. The student foreign exchange was pretty common for us, which is why nobody paid attention to a new face. Except for our counselor, of course. He asked me to supervise her for a while in order to help her adapt to her new surroundings. You see, I have decent grades and a good reputation.
Decent!
And of course, I didn't want to lose that, so I agreed before I'd even met the new student. Our Hong Kong's guest's name was Lin. Easy to remember, isn't it? I had never learned Chinese, so I was a little bit nervous, but as it turned out, there was nothing to worry about, because Lin's English was perfect. And that wasn't the only thing that was perfect about her. Lin was very beautiful. I mean, like, very beautiful. I've never liked anybody.
She doesn't look very beautiful. She looks fat.
As soon as I met Lin,
On the bottom.
I could not stop thinking about her.
Nah, I'm just gonna take that
After school,
back.
I showed her around the city, like her own personal sightseeing tour, while I was telling her about her life in London. Lin had never travelled outside of Hong Kong before, and many things here took her by surprise and sparked her curiosity. For example, she was wondering why we only had skyscrapers downtown, and she said that she felt strange staying with a British family in a small private house. Lin had grown up on the 32nd floor of an apartment building in Hong Kong.
God
When I was on
dang.
my way home, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact I would see Lin the day after. I played our conversations over in my head. I recalled her sing-song accent, and I loved her sense of humor and her gumption. Yes, I can tell you for sure, I was in love. Soon I asked Lin if she wanted to be a couple, and she didn't say no. Lin was the first
But she didn't say
girl I
yes.
ever kissed in my life. But my happiness didn't last for long. A terrible accident tore us apart. Once, Lin and I went to the outskirts of the city, along with 4 of our school friends, in a car that belonged to one of them. The weather was amazing, and the weekend was supposed to be very nice. We arrived to a small rocky lake, but instead of swimming, we decided to play volleyball. We didn't play very well, but we weren't that bad either, so as a whole, it was fun. Then, one of the guys made a hard, but not very exact serve, and the ball hit Lin in the head. Of course, he didn't mean to do it, but what's the difference? The ball hit Lin so hard that she fell down and fainted. I rushed to her.
Girl, I'm barking. I hit you that
She
hard.
was out cold. We were all terribly scared. Thank God one of the girls were more level-headed than the rest of us and called 999. The ambulance arrived and took Lin to the hospital. Lin's mother came from Hong Kong on the first available flight. It took her more than 13 hours, while Lin was still unconscious. I spent the whole time at the hospital, terribly worried for the girl I love. The worst thing was that the doctors wouldn't let me see her. Yes, I was her boyfriend, but I could not go and see her without her parents' permission. And when my girlfriend's mother finally arrived, a strange thing happened. It turned out that she knew nothing about me. So she won't let me visit Lin, saying that she shouldn't be bothered. But I thought that we just simply weren't going out together long enough for Lin to tell her parents about us, but it was still frustrating. I did not see my girlfriend until the day she checked out of the hospital. That day I brought her flowers and a big box of chocolates. I even asked the doctors if Lin was allowed to eat chocolates, and then waited for her at the hospital doors. When I saw Lin walking with her mother, I smiled happily and walked towards her, but for some reason, Lin just passed me by. That's when my own personal hell began. I was afraid that Lin's mother was going to take her home to Hong Kong after all of that, but she made sure Lin was okay and went back alone. But you know, truly wish Lin had gone home with her mother. The thing was that after my girlfriend got hit in the head, she forgot that she was my girlfriend. She knew who I was. She knew what my name was. But that was all. Her attitude towards me became even more distant than it was when we first met. It seemed to me that she now looked at me as if I was some nutty nerd. Can you believe it? And some nutty nerd may be worth a couple of words, but going out with him? Are you crazy? I was shocked and broken, and I didn't know how I was supposed to behave because I remembered every little thing. For a while, I tried to avoid crossing paths with Lynn, trying to come to terms with her partial amnesia that erased me from her memory and from her heart. But I could not believe that this was the end of our happy story. I was ready to fight for my incredible love. I planned to show her our pictures, but it turned out there was only a few of them.
What's only just one of
I
them
wanted
for
to take her
her
for a
looks?
walk around the city, where we had so much fun together, hoping it would jog her memory. But she would not accept my invitation. Maybe mutual friends could have helped us, but I realized that nobody was close enough to us to know that we were a couple. And that was not all. Soon, Lynn got herself a new boyfriend. His name was Bob. He was at the same school with us, but he was totally unlike me. He was into sports and, frankly speaking, a pretty dumb guy. I could not understand how Lynn could want to be with him. With me, she always had something to talk about. As for Bob, all he could do was make awkward jokes and then laugh at his own jokes. When I saw Bob trying to kiss my girlfriend in the school corridor, I went berserk and was ready to fight. I did not stand a chance against this birdie doodle, but at that moment, I
Dude!
did not care. But Lynn stopped me. She yelled at me, "Arthur, oh no, he will kill you, oh my God." Lynn pulled me into the nearest empty classroom, closed the door, and made me sit down at the table, angrily looming over me. It seemed she was about to make a long speech. "You've understood nothing, haven't you?" she asked, and sprung the truth on me. Can you imagine that this amnesia that my sweetheart suffered from was a lie that she made up in the hospital? Lynn actually recovered very quickly, but asked her mother to forbid me to visit her. Why did she lie? Lynn told me that she was literally suffocated by the attention I gave to her, and she was imagining with terror how long and painful for her I would make our breakup, and she had found a solution: to simply stop all communication with me for the rest of our stay in London. Having said all that, Lynn left, and after that, I sat there alone for a long time. Well,
Dang.
this is my story. I am just a cheated romantic with a broken heart, who still can't get over a girl who invented such a weird way to break up our relationship. I am now just simply waiting for when her year in London is over, and she goes back to Hong Kong. Maybe you have a remedy for a broken heart.
Oh, dang, Daniel. Well, I don't want this video to be too short, so... What's with another one?
Mutants are best kids' heads. Those flavors.
Oh, God, I'm cold.
One day, we're coming for you.
There we go.
Sing-song town. Hey guys, my name is Brenda, and I am 13 years old. Today, I have finally found the courage to share the most mysterious and enigmatic story of my life. Have you ever had any really weird things happen to you? Like
Yeah.
things you could not quite explain?
Yeah.
It all started when my family moved to a small town in Tennessee. I was very excited about going to this much praised school and to start all
That school's
over in a
small.
new place.
It's only like 2 classes.
Nothing could go wrong.
A cafeteria and a gym. That's it.
We did. My classmates were very nice. They showed me around.
Boy, get the F out of here.
Everyone.
She looks insane.
Aiden. He was horrifying. He was silent and distant, and he just gave me a quick look, but it made me feel really uncomfortable. I asked my new friends about him, and they told me he was just a weirdo. Nobody got along with him, and that wasn't unusual. They also said that he collected strange things and never let anyone touch the bag where he kept all his stuff. To tell the truth, I used to be really into any kind of mysticism at that time, so I got really intrigued. And then my classmates had a reckless idea. They wanted to steal Aiden's bag and look to see what was in there. That was the plan. They were supposed to distract him, and I had to grab his bag. And that's what we did, but it didn't work out properly. Aiden noticed me taking the bag and became furious. He screamed, yelled, and even cursed me. I got so scared that I ran away as fast as I could. I was running without looking back, but heard him cry out something like, "You're going to regret this!" And soon afterward, everyone was looking at the contents of the bag with an unnatural interest and horror. There were things like rocks, feathers, dry branches,
So?
and even dead birds.
Okay, now that's
and
nasty.
remains of dead cats.
No, that's
I was
nasty.
mortified and kept my distance. I was sure that Aiden would not stand for this. But nothing bad happened the next day or the day after. So I thought the story was over, but no such luck. One day,
So
there was
your
a knock
move
at our
is dead?
door. It was some strange woman. She said she was our neighbor and came to just say hi to the new tenants. She
Heck.
even brought a cake. So my mom went to the kitchen to grab plates, and I stayed with this woman all alone. She was frightening and attractive at the same time. She was staring at me and then suddenly asked me if I could get her a glass of water. But when I came back with the glass, the room was empty. The woman was gone. My mom came back with tea and cake and asked me what had happened, but I didn't know what to say. We were both very surprised. What urgent business could have made our guest leave without saying goodbye? Then I looked at the chair where she was sitting and saw a book. I opened it and couldn't believe my own eyes. It was a spell book or something. There were a lot of strange pictures and symbols.
You slow.
I took it and snuck into my room. It was absolutely
White people, bro.
fantastic. I spent hours looking through that book, and then I found a folded note in between the pages. It said, "If you want to know more, just let me know." I was dying of curiosity.
How do you want my sister keep on messing with me? I'm about to spit. I'm about to slap her in the face. Okay, I'm back.
The woman told us where she lived, but
Shut up!
to just go to her house. Then, the next Sunday morning, when I was leaving for the supermarket,
That's an old her laughing.
a woman standing on the corner. I guess I didn't realize what I was actually doing, but I went up to her with my legs shaking and breathed out, "I want to know more." She smiled at me and told me to meet her at a small shed in the nearby woods.
Heck
Of
no!
course, I didn't say anything to my mom about what I was doing. She never appreciated my interest in the mystic. But all this was far too intriguing to resist. I went to the shed at the appointed time, and the woman was waiting for me. It seemed I had entered
Heck
a
no!
witch's house. The shed was full of cauldrons, jars with some weird stuff, dream
Cat litter.
catchers, and other curious items. This woman started to tell me stories and explain the meanings of the pictures and symbols in the book she had left for me. I just couldn't stop listening to her.
You are
It
dumb.
was as if I had been hypnotized. She told me that I had a gift and that I was the chosen one.
Just want to
She
get
also
beat,
warned
to
that
get
I
you
had to value
beat.
all of this knowledge and to keep it a secret.
No, you just want to get you
And I
beat.
went back there again and again. I even started skipping school because I was much more interested in my magic lesson.
You're slow.
Once, my mysterious teacher told me we were going to learn to make special amulets. She told me that if I did everything right, they would protect my family. That was so exciting. After we made the amulets, I had to bring them
I like the blue
home
one.
and
The blue and
hide
white
them
one.
in the furthest corners of our house. So I did, and the results came quickly. I started noticing that my family was facing little unpleasant fails, like every single day, one thing after another. My mom would burn my dad's breakfast every morning. My dad's boots came apart when he was late for work. I opened a door and broke the handle. One night, I woke up because I heard some weird noise. My mom and dad were shouting and running around the house. They both seemed very worried. I was about to get out of bed to check what was going on, but I felt my feet touch water. The floor was completely covered with water. Our house was flooded. It turned out that a pipe had burst. That was suspicious. I told my teacher about what was happening. I asked her why the amulets didn't work. She seemed confused, but said that things were going the way they had to go. And our troubles continued. Once when I was having my morning breakfast before school, my mom went outside to take out the trash, but suddenly she slipped and fell from the stairs. She hurt her leg.
I'm dead. Her face, though.
I called my dad, who had left for work much earlier, and he rushed back home. I
Ugh.
tried to help my mom and to close up her wound, but I couldn't manage to find any bandages. I decided to go and ask the neighbors for help. I knocked on so many doors, but it seemed like everybody had disappeared into the ground. So I was running alone down the street when I realized I was passing by my spellcaster's house. I went up to her house and saw her in the yard. I was about to call out to her when suddenly I saw Aiden.
I knew it!
He was coming out of the door with his backpack, and I was sure I heard, "Goodbye, Mom." I was terrified and stunned.
I knew it.
This woman was Aiden's mom. The very Aiden who promised I was going to regret what I had done. I've never had the slightest idea that he even lived on my street. But it all made sense now. I realized that I was the one to blame for what had happened. When I went back home, I was absolutely desperate. But there was a new development. Mom had been waiting for Dad for a really long time by then, but he never showed up and we couldn't reach him by phone. We got really worried when suddenly my mom got a call. My dad had gotten into a car accident.
No!
He
He's
was
gonna be
not
dead.
injured badly, but he had to stay in the
Yes.
hospital for a while. I couldn't let all these awful
And
things happen.
know the song in the background.
I had to fix it. I threw all of the amulets away. I looked under every chair and cupboard to make sure I had taken all of them out. Suddenly, I found something horrible under our bookcase. There was a symbol drawn with a piece of chalk and a disgusting clump of dark hair. I had no doubt whose hair it was. Aiden's mom must have put it there when I went into the kitchen to get her some water. My heart sank. I cleaned all of this stuff out of the whole house and threw the book away as well. Well, believe it or not, nothing bad has happened since. I never told my parents about Aiden and his mom and our lessons. I bet they would never believe me anyway. I don't even actually believe that it all happened myself. I wish it was all a gigantic coincidence or a bad joke. But to be honest, I don't know. Has anything
It all lines up.
ever happened to you?
It all lines up. Well, because it's the video. If you want, please subscribe and like. And yeah, maybe you should check out, what's the name? Actually Happened, because he makes some good videos. Shut your mouth, Maya. Stop twerking. Yeah, I'm turning the internet, you twerk. That's all you go. So, just know that. Bye. I wasn't talking to you. What's wrong with the stupid Wi-Fi? Alright, bye, y'all.